Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard the City Alpha for your cruise today. Now that we've left the pier, I'm required by law to give you a short safety announcement. Now this is not to alarm you in any way, it's just to give you a bit more information about the boats that you're on today. So this vessel is licensed to carry up to 399 passengers. It is fitted out and equipped with all of the up-to-date and most advanced life-saving equipment, such as life rafts, life rings and life jackets, which are all situated around the boat. We are in constant contact with all of the emergency services, and in the very unlikely event of an emergency, we do ask that you please remain calm, seated and follow the instructions given to you by a member of the crew. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, top deck, can I just have a show of hands of who understood or even cared about any of the things I just said? Fantastic. At least I will be getting a life jacket. That's good to know. Now, we do have an automated guiding system on this boat. He points out a few of the sights here and there. Sounds a little bit like a robot. So we do prefer to give you a voluntary live commentary, but only if you want me to, of course. So I have to ask, does anyone want the automated robotic guide on today? Yeah, you at the back there? Yeah, you can get off, that's alright. Does anyone want the voluntary live commentary, folks? Yeah, a few of us? Okay, we'll crack on with that. That sounds good to me. So we'll start over there in the distance on the left-hand side. We've got the Charing Cross Railway Station. Now, the architect built this building to look like a steam train coming out of a tunnel. Now if you look very, very carefully, squint your eyes a bit, turn your head to the left, you will clearly see it looks absolutely nothing like a steam train coming out of a tunnel. It is, however, the geographical centre for the City of London. So if you write it in on Google Maps, it will drop you right on top of that. Now folks, it is said that if you get a wave back from these next two walkways, it's said to bring you luck. So we'll wake the bridge up for you. Hello! Give us a wave, give us a wave. Don't worry, it works on the other side as well. Stand by. Don't panic. Hello. Give us a wave, give us a wave. Thank you. Get a wave back, folks. Yeah, that's 7 years bad luck. Sorry about that, should have been more specific though. Just joking. 7 years good luck, of course. Now don't feel offended if you didn't get a wave back, okay folks? It just means they're from London, alright? Miserable. Now that we've properly cleared the bridge on the left, we've got Cleopatra's Needle, said to be older than the City of London itself, at 3,500 years old. Given to us for our assistance during the Battle of the Nile. Just next to it, we've got a very expensive, very famous hotel with a green roof. It's the Savoy Hotel. I'm sure you recognise it from when you left it this morning. It's got fantastic views of the River Thames. It costs £2,000 a night to stay in the roof part of this hotel, which does come complete with a full English breakfast. Takes the sting out of it a bit, doesn't it? We've also got Waterloo Bridge just ahead. It is nicknamed the Ladies' Bridge because it was built during the Second World War by a predominantly female workforce. It's built out of a self-cleansing stone, so when it rains here in London, as we all know, once or twice a year, it cleans the face of the bridge. As you can see, however, the underbelly remains relatively dirty, where the water cannot actually get to it. It's the longest bridge to span the river in this area, standing at a quarter mile long. Over on the left, we've got Somerset House. It was built for the Dukes and Earls of Somerset. It used to hold all of the information for the births, marriages and deaths of everyone in the United Kingdom. It now has a fantastic open-air cinema in the summer months, as well as an ice skating rink in the winter months. So pretty much all year round, you've got something cool to go and have a look at in that building over there. We've also got this black and white vessel coming up on the left, known as the yacht at Temple Pier. This was the Queen's Royal Barge about 25 years ago. Obviously, it did have quite a bit more gold on it back in its day. It's been stripped of its gold. It is now a permanent bar and restaurant, open to the public of course. It was known previously as the St. Cat's. Got another significant ship on the left, the HQS Wellington. It was the flagship for the New Zealand Navy. It has now been donated to the Master Mariners, and it's a little bit of a drinking club. In order to be a Master Mariner, you have to have been a captain at sea for 25 years. It takes a bit of time to get to that rank or that position in the first place, about 10 years on average. So you can understand why that is one of the most exclusive clubs in the whole of this city. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may not believe this, understandably, but London has some of the world's best and premier beaches. We've got the South Bank Riviera on the right-hand side. Beautiful sandy beaches, blue waters, blue skies. What more could you possibly ask for? This is, of course, where they filmed Baywatch. True story, that one. It's a fantastic day out for the kids, playing with all the broken glass and needles on the sand. It really is a lovely day out. Staying along the same side, we've got the Oxo Tower. It was... yeah, there's a guy on the beach, makes me laugh. It's just a guy who likes to make the same sounds as we do for some reason. It used to be a power station for the post office, the Oxo Tower. They wanted to include advertising signs on their building. However, it was illegal to do so at the time. They built the tower anyway, so the architect was taken to court. And he said, "I did not realise that my circle and square windows would spell out the company's name." And he actually got away with it. They've had free advertising for 50 years, 50. It's a bit difficult not to notice the huge construction site going on the banks of the Thames here. This is all to do with the Tideway project. They are building a super sewage system underneath the River Thames. It's going to take 10 years to complete, with a £5 billion investment into this project. We've got countless sites scattered around different points on the Thames. If you've seen any construction work going on, it's all to do with the upgrade plan. Just ahead, the Blackfriars Road Bridge. As we get a bit closer, on either side, you will notice the small figurines of birds at the top of the red columns just there. On this side of the bridge, we have land-going birds, and on the opposite side ahead of us, sea-going birds. This is because this was the area where we used to believe the fresh water and the seawater used to meet underneath this bridge. We now know it actually meets a lot further up the river behind us, and we are now currently travelling above brackish water, which is a mixture of fresh and salty water. As we slowly clear the bridge, on the left-hand side we have the best view of St. Paul's Cathedral. St. Paul's is 365 feet high. That is easily remembered as 1 foot for every day of the year. It was designed by Sir Christopher Wren and completed in 1711. Now they say the views at the top are absolutely breathtaking, but unfortunately so is the walk up there, because there's no lifts, no escalators. It's all very narrow passages and many steps all the way to the top. We've got the old Bankside Power Station on the right and the new Tate Modern Arts Gallery. Now this building is absolutely free to go inside, and if you know anything about modern art, you'll know why this building is absolutely free to go inside. Now we do like to joke around. If you're into modern art, it is the best place in the world for you to go and have a look at some of their weird and wonderful exhibitions. Just above our heads now, the Millennium Footbridge, or the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge, as it is most commonly known. It got this nickname because it was opened at 12 o'clock by the Queen and closed at 2 o'clock by the Metropolitan Police Service, because it was swaying so violently. The architect said on national television, "There's nothing wrong with the way I built my bridge. It is just the way Londoners walk." So that was his excuse for why it was moving around so much. We've also got a replica for Shakespeare's Globe Theatre just there on the right. They do everything as they did it back in the Shakespearean times. There are no microphones, there are no lights, and most importantly, there are no toilets inside the building. So it's very much to pee or not to pee. The jokes get worse, don't worry about that. And also on the left-hand side, we've got the large white building known as Vintners Hall. In here, the men and women have one of the worst jobs in the world. It's absolutely awful. They must taste all of the wines, beers, spirits and alcohol that makes its way into the City of London. I know. So imagine that, getting paid 5 days a week to get absolutely hammered. Yeah, I wouldn't like that job. I sent my CV there last week. You never know. Dreams do come true sometimes. Just here we've got the Financial Times building, or the FT building. As they were expanding their car park, they discovered the original foundations for Shakespeare's Globe. So that's where the original building once stood, which does make a bit more sense when I tell you about the next one. You've got a pub or a public house known as the Anchor just over there. There has been an establishment here for over 400 years. And it is said that William Shakespeare himself used to get changed in the attic of this building before performing at his very nearby Rose and Globe Theatre. It's a very short walk for Mr. Shakespeare, as you can see. Folks, do we have any Pirates of the Caribbean fans on board today? Yeah, a few of them? Okay, so get your cameras ready, because we have a ship coming up just over there on the right-hand side now that has nothing to do with the film. It is the Golden Hind. It is a replica of the one Sir Francis Drake used to circumnavigate the globe. And it's actually known for being a little bit of a pirate ship because it brought back so much gold and silver from its travels. It brought this country for the first and final time completely out of debt. We could do with him today, I reckon. Up ahead, London Bridge. You may have heard the nursery rhyme. London Bridge is falling down. That is because there have been 5 bridges, including this one, to stand in this area. One fell down, one burnt down, one sunk into the mud. And one was sold to an American businessman who thought he was buying Tower Bridge in front of us. The story goes, they walked him along the bridge, they faced him in the direction that we're going, and they told him, this is the bridge you'll be buying. So you can imagine his face when he opened a box in Arizona. It cost him £1 million to do so at the time, and he did not even get the right bridge. It currently stands over Lake Havasu in the Arizona desert as a tourist attraction. Now folks, I do often get asked many questions about this large blue glass building coming up just over there on the left. And to be honest with you, I don't really know what it is. However, I've recently been told it is the headquarters for the Window Cleaning Association. I don't know how much truth that is in now. If you can clean that building, you can definitely clean the Shard after that on the right. You have the Shard or the Shard of Glass. It's over 1,000 feet tall. It goes up 95 stories. Inside you will find hotels, offices, restaurants and apartments. The most expensive of which will set you back at least £30 million. So start saving now for sure. We've also got this large white building on the left hand side known as Customs House. This is where they confiscate any contraband that tries to make its way into the city. They store it underground for 1 year and 1 day before burning the entire lot through those 6 black chimneys on the roof there. I have worked on this river for a long time. I have never seen a puff of smoke come out of those chimneys. I have heard that they prefer the destruction method known as the office Christmas pie. I can tell you they've had a few good ones in there. Now ladies and gentlemen, do look very, very carefully because it is camouflaged. We have the HMS Belfast just here on the right hand side. Served plenty of action during the Second World War and the Korean conflict. It's got over 9 floors, takes 2 to 3 hours to visit the entire ship. And if you are into naval or maritime history, it is a perfect place for you to go and have a look, because it is now a permanent museum. Just over there behind the tree line, of course, we have the Tower of London over on the left. You can see along the river wall it says entry to the Traitor's Gate. There used to be a tunnel beneath that writing. If you were found guilty of treason at the time, you'd be rowed through the tunnel into the centre of the tower, where your head will be removed by means of a large axe. Quite grim in them days, unfortunately. This was, of course, the first one-way street in London. It's been many things over the years: a mint, a monastery, an observatory, and even the start of London Zoo. It now, of course, most famously holds the crown jewels for the Queen. A few of you have noticed the bridge, of course, Tower Bridge directly ahead of us now, shortly to be on the right-hand side, okay folks? So you're going to get a very good photo opportunity of the bridge in a few seconds. We'll talk about it while we're going around. It's actually one of the only bridges of its kind in the world, because it is part bascule and part suspension. The bascule part is the centre part of the bridge that opens up in 90 seconds to allow larger ships in and out of the upper pool of London, which is the area we're currently in. It only failed to open once, and that was on its opening ceremony, where a sailing vessel crashed into the middle of the bridge. Not the best opening ceremony, I must admit. The trick is to get a nice double-decker bus right in the middle of the bridge. Hopefully there'll be one along soon. Makes for a lovely postcard. But if not, the bridge is pretty nice anyway.